Oh, look at that. It's episode 2. All right.
I didn't even change my clothes.
I didn't even shower. And I'm still drinking the same beer. With our lifestyle, it's hard for us to get together, so I'm just doing a few different segments, and I know people don't like to watch an hour-long fucking video, so this is segment 2. We're going to name, maybe the top 5 bands that has been a total disappointment to the fact where you pretty much fucking hate them.
All the time to think, huh?
Yeah.
And I'll start it off. My top 5 biggest disappointments in music. Well, let's start off with Metallica.
That's a good one.
Let's just start off with that.
That's a good one.
I mean, back in the day, every guitar player you knew was fucking trying to learn the solos and the sick riffs and the cool bass lines. And, back when Lars was actually a good drummer. Not nowadays where he sucks. But, so, somewhere along the line, they were like, hey, we're going to stop writing cool stuff and sell out and try to make as much money as we can and play the lamest shit ever. And they accomplished that. As soon as the Black Album came out, I remember the day it came out, we were at Mike Mahan's house. If you're out there, Mikey, hey, how you doing, Mikey?
In the hot tub.
We were having a hot tub party. Yeah. And he put that new Metallica in, and we're all excited. We're like, oh yeah, let's fucking... By song 3, I was like, get that fucking thing out of the fucking tape deck or whatever. Probably had tapes back then. Yeah, just couldn't even fucking deal with it, and I refuse to even listen to them nowadays at all. Yeah. Like I'm done.
Even when they try to come out with the new albums that are supposed to be heavy and like the old shit, it's junk.
So why don't you take a minute or two and give us your version of Metallica? What do you think about that? Why they did it?
The last good album was Injustice for All.
Great album.
Great album. Seen him live on that tour, on concerts on the river in Manchester. Mm-hmm. So good. And then, like Squirt said, after that, I just fucking fell apart. I don't know what happened. Like, Kirk Hammett was good, and then he sucked. Lars was never really great anyway, but he got even worse. Well, he just... decided not to play anymore.
He was impressive.
Right.
Because there was really nothing else out there like that,
And I don't know who got a hold of him or why they decided to just bail out like that. But everything they've done is just commercial crap.
Fucking Reload.
Yeah.
Was that when Kirk lost all his other pedals other than his wah pedal?
Right.
What's your view on it? You ever a Metallica fan?
No, really. I mean, I just kind of missed the bus on them. Kind of heard all their main stuff. All the stuff that was out
One's
there.
my favorite song they ever did, the extended version.
I do like that.
I love because he actually played his guitar in that. I like that whole. I like the extended. And Master of Puppets is just that.
There's a lot of songs on Master of Puppets that I love.
That's a good album. Like,
so I never.
Sanitarium was a great song, even though it was a little slower, but it was a great song.
That album was great.
Yeah, I never really had any attachment to them, so I just could pick and choose. All right, I like this song. I like this one. This one sucks. No big deal. Like, I never loved them, so they really couldn't disappoint me.
So they weren't even really a part of your
Yeah,
your music.
I mean, like, I appreciate what they did and the influence that they had on a lot of the people that I do like, because you watch interviews with guys that I think are great now, and they're like, I grew up playing Metallica, and had Metallica not been there, they wouldn't be the players that they are. But for me, they really didn't have anything.
Well, how old are you?
Me? I'm 37.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't...
I mean,
37.
I wish I was 37, saying the same thing, but...
But kind of the same thing for me with Pantera. By the time I kind of really listened to them, they'd been out for so long that a million different bands had ripped off their riffs. So I didn't get that first experience of listening to it and be like, wow, this is crazy, this is new. Because by the time I listened to it, it had been done a million times over.
We worshipped the ground. They fucking when Cowboys from Hell came out, we were all like,
dude, every party, Cowboys was fucking cranked. That and Sepultura. Arise.
Oh man, been in that pit before. I had to hide behind your manna.
But then it just goes to what I said in the first segment is I was a huge Pantera fan,
Me too.
But then better bands come out, and you're kind of like, okay, well, I've been there. Now I'm going here, and you just keep moving on because that's what you do.
But there's, to me, I don't know. There's a lot of bands that happens, but I still go back and listen to.
You always have that.
The early Pantera.
A lot of nostalgia.
Like Rust in Peace by Megadeth.
You have that like once a year segment. Like I'll go on a fucking King Diamond spree.
Right, I'm on that now.
Like I'll just listen to nothing but King Diamond for like a week and a half, and nothing but King Diamond.
Yep.
I can't really do it with Pantera anymore because I've heard those songs so many fucking times.
Right, well, many
plus
times.
They've been copied so many times.
Right.
It almost sounds generic, even though he was the original.
Right.
And you listen to the album and you're like, I've heard all these riffs 1,000 times.
Right.
Unfortunately, he was the original, but if you go back and you didn't listen to them when they first came out, you're
who didn't throw in in their song after they came out? It was just like everyone was doing chugging the E, like, oh my god, this is heavy.
Yeah, it's almost like the same fucking scenario as like when you play Magic. I know.
Hey, I like Magic.
Yeah, we're nerds, whatever.
I'm lost.
But you play with somebody with a fucking great deck, and the next time you play them, they fucking copy your same deck. It's the same fucking thing. Like people copy each other.
Right.
It's
the way of the world, though.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, think about it. Everything gets copied.
It's one thing if
the whole world gets copied.
Yeah,
it's one thing if you take like an influence and make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
But when you copy it right to the fucking tits, then that's gay.
Right, that's worse.
I mean, with certain things too, there's only so many notes on a guitar. Every riff has been written.
That's it.
Somewhere.
That's the problem too.
And
think about it's not really a problem but that's why the 7-string started coming out, and then the 8-string that and Lucas from Rings plays a 9-string, and it's just like that you got to try to come up with different.
Pretty soon you have to get extended.
Dude, the thing's like a fucking picnic table. It's like this big.
I need the 3-inch extenders for my fingers.
Right.
It goes from here to
I'm going to get my nails done.
Of my 47 string.
Yeah, crazy.
Jared Dines with a 24 string.
Yeah.
He has to play like that.
Yeah. That's a little more.
Okay, we're getting off topic here. Next band for me would be Marilyn Manson. I was a fucking huge Manson fan.
Yep.
For like 9 years straight, I never missed a fucking show every year. We went every year. We fucking rented limos, got fucking super drunk, and like, we're going to fucking Manson. And then all of a sudden, he came out with Heart Shaped Box or whatever the fuck that dumb fucking album was.
Yeah.
And he's such a fucking dick that he fucking pissed off all the good players in his band, and they all fucking quit. And now they're all in fucking better bands. So for me, he's a huge like, fuck you guy. I can't even believe I liked you for that many years, and to have you play me like that, Like,
so I'm still a huge Manson fan, but there are plenty of I don't like that out. There's like 3 or 4 albums that I don't like, but his last 2 or 3 have been really good, really heavy, right back to good stuff. And he's just I don't know. First of all, live. I know you don't like him, but how are his shows live? Unmatched.
The last time I saw him, he was so drunk.
Well,
he couldn't say the
but
words.
I'm saying like when you used to go back in the day.
Oh,
Unmatched.
Antichrist?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Fucking
One
doing
of the
all
best
this
shows
shit
I've ever
over
been
the
to.
fucking thing, right? I mean, stilts. I mean,
yeah, Antichrist was one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
right. So I mean, I get where he's coming from. The music it petered out quite a bit, and he is a drunk, which is unfortunate. But it's hard to knock those first 5 or 6 albums. They're just so good. But he doesn't listen to them anymore, and the last couple albums have been really heavy and really good.
Well, when you write 4 shitty albums,
right?
I pretty much.
That's what I mean. Like
I'm
I know
done.
some people
I throw the towel in.
Some people won't go back, and some people just hang with him, and he still has tons of fans and shit. But I can see where you're coming from now on that for sure.
I mean, if he doesn't want to fucking give us the, if he doesn't want to put the time in to give us a quality product, why should I fucking support him?
Yeah.
Go pay $100 for his fucking.
Oh yeah,
ticket.
I agree. I'm not.
What's your take on Manson?
I'm still a huge fan.
He's one of those guys that sometimes knowing something about the musician ruins him for you. And everything I've seen, he just seems like such a douchebag that I even if it's great music, I just
super smart
something
guy,
about
wicked
him,
smart guy.
Something about him annoys me, and so everything he creates kind of annoys me.
Yeah, there's people like that out there for me too.
Like,
I think what it was for him is fame. Fame like turned him into this monster. Like, well, you know what my guitar player's name is? Well, no, we can't have that. Fuck you, get out of here.
Yeah, the whole
Johnny
rock
Five, one
star
of the best guitar
fucking-
players
yeah.
ever. Fucking, get out of my band.
Yeah, once they start believing that they're a rock star and start getting entitled and like.
I mean, can we agree that Johnny Five is like fucking right up there as one of the
John
best?
5 is so good.
He's
How the
crazy.
fuck do you get that guy mad enough to quit your band?
Watching him play,
He's
just
so good.
in videos where he's at like guitar shops, and he goes from playing country like
Oh, yeah,
to
he
like
can do
heavy
anything.
stuff, and
He's really, really good.
in a matter of 10 minutes, he's played every genre out there, and
He's
done
like the
it
new and
perfectly.
improved Steve Vai.
So back in the day, he used to play with David Lee Roth, and John said they recorded a whole album that Dave hasn't released yet, with John on it, and he's begging Dave to release it because he says it's fucking great. I don't know what Dave's waiting for. Whole album.
Holy crap!
Back in the day, when Dave could sing, and
Oh, I fucking love Dave.
I don't care what anyone says about. I know his voice isn't what it used to be, but I fucking love Dave. Fucking just one
Yeah,
of the
I was a
best
huge Dave fan.
front showman. And then everyone starts bringing up fucking Hagar. It's like,
Fuck
are you
Hagar.
fucking kidding me with that shit?
Pound cake?
Yeah, he made him so
Fucking
commercial.
pound cake?
Made him so commercial and just ruined the fucking band. Unbelievable. But no, Roth fucking. So, on the Roth thing, I have to bring this up. The album Eat 'Em and Smile with Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan and Greg Greg Bissonette drumming. It's just, it doesn't even get much better than that. That fucking album, the musicians, that whole album is just smoking. And those guys tried to keep up with Van Hagar. It was a joke. Dave just put together the ultimate band. Just, oh.
Yeah, where did Greg come from? Like, he's out of nowhere. Hey,
I know.
Hi, I'm Greg Bissonette.
Yeah, I know. Who are
I'm
you?
really good.
Right? Oh, just unreal. That's one of my I still listen to Eat 'Em and Smile because it's just unbelievable.
I would have no problem putting that in.
And it's so good. So I just needed to bring that up while we were on the Dave subject.
All right, well, let's move on to my third pick for the day. A little band named Corn. Now, when that first album came out, I was doing cartwheels up and down the fucking driveway.
Heavy as shit.
Couldn't even believe it. I was like, oh my God. It's kind of like almost like the Pantera thing.
Right. You were like
you heard it and you were like, what the fuck?
right.
That's fucking tits. So, cute little story here. So, huge Corn fan. Very poor kid growing up. Saved my allowance. Got that $14 or whatever it was for like the CDs back then.
Right.
I drove with $14 to the music store and bought their second CD. By the time I got it home, after listening to it, I put it under my tire and spun out on it.
Was that Life is Peachy?
One of the worst
is that right?
fucking albums I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
But that Follow the Leader wasn't bad.
They made a comeback,
Right, it wasn't bad.
and they kind of reeled me back in. So I was like, all right,
Right,
you fucked
Follow
up
the Leader
once.
wasn't bad.
You fucked up
Right,
once.
right,
Okay,
right.
I'm reeled back in. Let's go to a show.
Yeah. But
And then they
after
wrote
that-
5 other albums that fucking
Yeah,
sucked
after
dick.
that it was just, I don't know what happened.
For me, I'll never be a Korn fan ever again.
No, I'll pop in
They
the
could
first
write,
one
they could
every
write
now
a
and then.
fucking Shadow of Intent album, and I'd be like, go fuck
I
yourself.
mean,
I'm done.
I'll listen to the first one every now and then just because it has that, but no, yeah.
They're actually, they're my favorite band for a long time. Life is Peachy came out, kind of trying to make excuses for them. Like, maybe it was rushed, maybe whatever. Maybe they'll go back to their first album, and just hoping they'll go back. And actually Follow the Leader.
Wasn't bad. I didn't mind that one.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. I wanted them to put out another first album, and after that one, it just kind of came a realization and never going to. And I kind of
Some bands just
moved
can't
on.
do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so good example, not that they're real popular or have a lot of albums, is Cold Chamber.
I love all their albums, though.
Yeah, but the first album is
The
unbeatable.
first album is definitely the best.
That's what I'm
one.
saying. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, no, I'm not saying they were junk, but I'm saying a lot of bands will put out their very first album ends up being their best album. And you expecting more, and you're like, oh. I'll still go back to the first one. Right? You know what I mean? So now, like Pantera, they kept going. They kept going up the stairs. Cowboys from Hell was great, and then Vulgar. Come on, you know what I mean?
And that's how I think you should keep moving up.
And
the
then
ladder.
what's the third album?
Far Beyond Driven. Great album.
Right off the bat. You know what I mean? Just so I mean, I know, and then eventually, then it started taking a dive. But there's not many bands that do that. Like Slayer was a good one that did that, and then they kind of started putting out some kind of shit.
Well, they just started writing the same song over and over again.
But early Slayer.
I mean, South of Heaven.
South of Heaven.
I can't even handle how good that is. Like I could listen to that album 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I love song Dead Skin Mask. Dead Skin Mask, shit like that was
on War Ensemble. That was the next one.
Yeah, it's so good.
Even with Corn now, the first album, there's stuff that when I first liked them, even though my favorite band, I didn't really appreciate how good it was. Like Fieldy's bass tone, like it was.
He's always had a good
incredibly
bass tone.
heavy bass tone, and the way he just played it. He kind of has a laid-back style where he's not overly busy, but he executes it perfectly where a bass should be.
Yeah, but he's got that wicked poppy.
Yeah.
He's in rehab right now. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, like
He's
that.
Well, to their defense, even though I fucking can't stand them and I hate them now, but I did do some research on their second album, like after it happened, and the record company was pushing them.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of stuff written, and that's why they did a lot of covers on it. And they had to push it out, and it shows because it's a fucking shitty album.
Yeah.
Like there ain't one good song on that album.
That's probably why a lot of first albums are the best, because they haven't made it yet. They have all the time in the world. Example. They perfect it, and then next thing you know, they blow up, and the record companies are like, "Time's ticking. When's your next album coming out?" Like the first one, you have all the time in the world to get it out there, but once you do. And you build a fan base, there's an expectation, and the next album better come out quick, and it better be good before people lose interest. Like, nobody really wants to be in one of those, or be a fan of one of those bands where you're waiting 10 years for the next album, and by the time it comes out, you don't even care anymore. So I think maybe trying to keep up with the expectations sometimes gives subpar albums.
All right, so I kind of stole the spotlight there, and
that's good because
three.
you didn't give us any time to think. So I can't think of any anyway. So keep going.
Yeah.
So you guys don't have like that number one disappointment?
No, like a lot of
one
bands
band you
too.
fucking just loved, and now you're just like, go fuck yourself.
A lot of bands too that change. Like I kind of get it. Like seeing different musicians that have changed, and I'm kind of explaining it. Like
that's happened with a ton of bands for me though.
No matter who they are,
I could rattle off Dio and Yngwie. I mean, I could rattle off a ton of them.
I think probably another big one for me was Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, I love.
I've never been a fan of them, so I don't really know. I've never listened.
I mean, their first couple of albums, the Rev wrote all the stuff on piano, and the fucking drums were fucking awesome, and like everything was really, really raw and really, really awesome. He died.
Yeah.
They turned into Metallica.
Right. I mean, I knew
what the fuck, dude?
Because I heard their this stuff. I mean, I was never a fan anyway. But
and I heard they were talking to the drummer, and the drummer was like, "Yeah, I came in to do the new album with all these fucking cool beats, and they told me to fucking do 1-2 beats, the whole fucking thing." I was like, "What do you mean?"
See, that sucks too because those guitar players are good.
Yeah, they really are.
Like wicked good.
He has so much talent.
What the hell happened?
And they write fucking Metallica fucking stuff.
Yeah,
that King song.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Right, that's all I think about when that name gets brought up is something like, what is it? Hail to the King.
Yeah.
Hail to the King.
I've taken shits that sound better than that song.
Right. No,
I've heard them. They do.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it is a shame
so
because
really
the guitarist actually had kind of a cool, unique style.
Well,
where, like when he played a solo, you knew it was him playing.
Yeah,
I don't know what he did that was different than the other ones, but then to have them take out everything and make some kind of unique and cool.
Yeah.
Well, for me being a drummer too, like the stuff that Rev did on like the first 2-3 albums, amazing fucking cool fucking drumming, like just so creative and inspiring, and then to turn into fucking. Go fuck yourself, man. I never again will I go to your show.
So one of the bands I can think of off the top of my head is Dangerous Toys.
Mm.
Their first album was the fucking best thing. We just loved it. It was Hampton, just everything. And their second album, I hated it.
It was like a different band.
Yeah. Tough
That's
Luck.
not Dangerous Toys.
Tough Luck.
Oh, first album was great.
You ever hear their second album?
No.
I don't even know who it was. The guitar player didn't even know how good he was. I'm like, what?
He had a sweet perm, I remember that.
Well, his perm went flat on the second album because it sucked. But Tough Luck, Dangerous Toys, that first albums were just phenomenal. And then like, what the hell happened? I don't know. There's a ton, like I say, there's a ton of them for me. But,
Well, we're getting into the hairband stuff, and that's going to be segment 3. So.
yeah.
Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed some of this. We had a good time doing it. We still haven't showered, and I'm still on the same beer.
Peace out.
Old guy.